Les. Okay, if anyone's got any questions at any point, just interject and unmute your mic. Okay, so this is the 15th class. So the yearly goal. So this could take all year. It could, this is the ultimate goal to freedom of just being able to improvise, is to memorize the full 5 major scales. Okay, so the full shapes, all 6 strings, but not just like having to think, just easing through it without much thinking. Okay, and then to weave in and out of them. So not just to play a shape on its own, to be able to play the next one and the next one. Just weave in and out of all 5 shapes. That's sort of like a big goal. And then to put them in any key, so putting them in different places. That's what we're going to address today, this one. And then last fortnight, the arpeggios. That's how we're going to start to make these scales musical. So it's going to be a mixture of putting things into different keys, arpeggios, learning these 5 major shapes. We're not doing this all today. This is just our overarching sort of goal. So learning the scales within the major scale, because at the moment we just focused mainly on a major scale. But just to reassure you that once you have really got to grips with that, every scale is within that. So that might not make sense yet, but just to tell you how important it is to just learn the major scale. Because I know from myself, when I improvise, I always just picture the major scale, no matter what it is. If it's a minor key, if it's a dominant 7th key, if it's a major 7th, I'm always seeing the major scale. So I'm just stressing that again. And then ultimately it'd be nice to change key while staying in the same position. So if you're improvising and then the key changes, but you don't just pick up your shape and you take it to the other side of the guitar, you stay in the same position and you change key. So that's with shapes on top of each other. But this is far down the line. I think if I can get you to this stage, I think you'll be a really confident, high level, really. So whether this takes months or a year or maybe more, it doesn't matter. To be able to do everything I've put on that page would be like a great achievement. And hopefully with the small snippets I do, it'll all piece together. So today's lesson, we're going to move the CAGED shapes into different keys. So I'm going to come up with some ideas of how to, say you're in the key of A, how do you play your CAGED shapes there? If you're in the key of F, how do you play all your CAGED shapes? At the moment we've done D major and C major, but how do you transfer that about the place with confidence? And if we have time, which we might not have, is identifying the relative minor within the major shape. But I'm not going to dwell on that too much yet. So let's have a recap on the CAGED system in the key of D. So this is something we've done a lot, but we'll just go over the 5 shapes, just 1 octave. I know we extended some of the octaves previously, but just for today, we're going to do 1 octave. So this is the shape of D major. It's the shape of C, but it's in D major. So I know lots of you like it the different way around. So you want to be starting that on the 5th fret, on the 5th string, and it should sound like. So Brian, you want to be on the 5th string there, as well as the 5th fret. That's it. There's your starting note. So this is stuff that we've done quite a lot. So there's the C shape. Just to recap over that. Now, sharing the same root, can anyone tell me what shape shares that same root as the C? Does anyone want to just unmute and shout out a shape? Go on, Roddy, I can see you going for it.
Is it G?
No, it's not. So it shares the same root as this
It'd
C here. What's that,
be the
Jimmy?
A.
The
They
A.
all go in order, don't they? A.
Exactly. It always spells caged. So the next one up is CA. So you can see it starts so where your little finger is on the previous one there, you want to get your second finger now on the same note.
David, I just said that because I've got in my head the shape of the arpeggio, which for G is the triad is, but on C is C.
Uh,
That's not what I meant. I don't understand. I'm getting a
all
bit
right.
confused here.
Oh right,
Just
yeah.
say
So we're not doing the
C.
we're not doing the arpeggios at the moment. We're just doing a major scale. I see where you're coming from, but we're doing the. Let me demonstrate to you. They're the arpeggios built out of the scale, but we're just doing the major scale.
Okay, okay, okay.
Do re mi fa sol la ti.
Sorry, okay. So I'm getting used to
The
what's called.
terminology, yeah. So the arpeggio is like picking out the 1, 3, and 5 and 7 of that. But at the moment, we're just doing the full shape. So this is the A. So starting with the second finger on the 5th fret, second finger on the 5th string as well. So move down there you go. Okay. So it goes 2, 4, and then 1, 2, 4. So, which one are you reading, Roddy? The top one or the bottom one? The top one, yeah. Are you reading this one or that one? The bottom one, top one. So 2, 4. 2. Yeah, use your second finger and your fourth finger. Sorry. 2. No, you were on the right split. Yeah, that's it. That's it. And then 1, 2, 4 on the next string. And then 1, 3, 4. Yeah, you know that. It's just that's why I'm doing this, because I know you all know it, but it's just a bit of a recap. So sharing that is the C shape, which would start with your little finger. Okay. I'm going to clarify that in a bit. So then the next shape along is the G shape, which is with your little finger on the 10th fret, because we're in the key of D major here. So put your little finger on the top string now, on the 6th string, yeah, on the 10th fret, and then go up the G major octave. If you know 2 octaves, then great. I can see Sam flying through his 2 octaves there, which is lovely. So there, Roddy, you use your little finger, that's right. And then on the next string, you go 1, 3, 4. So on the next string, go 1st, 3rd, and 4th. So that's, yeah, that's it. Don't jump too far over. So it should sound like, and then move out of, at this point, you got to move out of scale a bit. 1, 3. Yeah, and then the last one. So you can hear the scale there. So what shares the root with the G shape? What's the next shape? Anyone, Brian?
Is it E?
E, yeah.
Yeah.
So on the 10th fret still, with your second finger now, and you'll see it's the same shape as what you did the A with. So, oh, I think I played that other one wrong. I played it in C. Is that what's confusing you? That other one should have been. So this is, that's it. So the 10th one. So if you noticed, it's always each shape going along spells caged, and we're on E. So the last one will be D. So the way we get that is looking at this E shape. We're going to find the octave, which is the last note there on that 12th fret, where your little finger should be hitting. Oh, Roddy, this one we're on the 10th fret on with your second finger. That's it. So we're on the E shape now. So go 2, 4, second and fourth finger, and then That's it. And then you first, second, and fourth. Then that's it. There you go. So that last little note there, change that with your second finger now, because we're going to the D shape, and you can see it starts there on that last, on the fourth string. So the last note of that E shape there, the E shape, the last note there, stay on that note. Yeah, stay on that last note there, that with your little finger, and then change it, switch it with your second finger. That's it, and then go up this scale, and that's your last shape, and that will cover the D major scale with all 5 shapes, C, A, G, E, D. Okay, so that was just a little recap. We're going to be doing it in a bit more detail now. I'm going to show you the next slide. So here, so try to just look at the one you've got. So here, this is all 5 shapes for D major that we've just done. If you can see here, it looks like a big fat mess and a bunch of confusing stuff to look at. And when I see things like this on posters and that, I always shake my head a bit, because I think I've never looked at it like this, and that's very confusing. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to highlight it, see, with yellow. So just for you to see, you can see the yellow there. That's your C shape. Can you see that? That's your C shape there, the one below. And you can see how it's connected. See the root there highlighted in red. Let me just zoom in on here. See the red one there that starts that C major off. You see the A is the next shape. And you can see how they're connected. If you look now, that's the C. That's to the sort of right of the root there. And the next one's the A shape. Yeah, does that make sense? I'll keep going back between them. So look at your, if you like looking at the top one, look at that. If you like looking at the bottom one, and I'm going to flip between them. That's the C shape. That's the A shape. So you can see the C and A are connected by these notes, really, these 4 little notes here. Well, if I show you on here, these little notes here are all connecting the 2 shapes. So then to look at the third shape along now would be the G. So it's, if you can see it on the big graph, it's this one here, and it's going to be to this side of the scale. So there's your G. Now you can see that's the third shape along. Now if you look at the root of that there, that shares the same root as the E. So you can see that's to one side. That's your G to that side. E's to that side. So I'm just showing you so you can visually see what's going on as a whole. Okay. And then your last shape, you're looking at the octave here of E, and you can see it'll be all these cluster of notes here that make the D. If you look there, you can see the connection of the E shape here to D. You don't have to play yet. You're just analysing this data. So you can see there's your E shape, and that's how it connects to your D. Okay, so there, if you look, I've done the initial one now, but I've put the shapes next to it. So CAGED, spelling caged, going along. Okay, so we're just going to unpack that a little bit more now. So we want to change, oh yeah. So for changing keys, the thing to recognise is C and A shape share the same root. Okay? When we're trying to find, basically what we're trying to do is we're going to look at a key, and we're going to figure out where all the 5 shapes go to play in that key. So we're going to be playing the C, A, G, E, D shapes, but just for that key. Okay? And the E and the G shape share the same root. Okay? So E and G, C and A, and then you've got D, which is an octave from the E shape. Okay, so looking at here, oh wait there, I think the next bit. All right, so to think about basic open chords, if you were to do the caged open chords, look, C, you can see that's on the fifth string. So you know your root is on the 5th string of a C chord. Your A chord is on a 5th string, isn't it? So both your C and the A chord are on a 5th string. The root of that chord is on the 5th string. Now, if you play a G and an E chord, a G and an E chord, where's the root of them? It's on the 6th string. So I really want to just get this into your head. E and G, the root of them chords are on the 6th string. A and C, the root's on the 5th string. And when you play a D, the root's on the 4th string, yeah? Okay. Right. I think Roddy's gone. All right. So let's work out the caged shapes. I think he's just internally combusted into smoke and just his head like exploded like scanners. Film the scanners. Okay. So let's work out these in the key of F. So what you've got to do is find out where the F root is on the 6th, the 5th, and the 4th string. So if anyone wants to anyone wants to give me any kind of sort of guidance here, Sam, where's the F on the 6th string?
On the 6th.
Your 1st fret, yeah? Great. And where else might it be on the 6th string? Exactly on the 13th fret. Because with these cage shapes, you might not have enough space, so you might have to go a little bit beyond the 12th fret. Okay. Someone else give me the answer on the 5th string. Peter, do you know where your F is on the 5th string?
Yeah, it's on the 7th fret.
Ooh, nearly. Not the 7th, no.
No?
That's your E.
Oh.
So where did you count
Sorry,
from?
9th, beg your pardon, can't count.
No, because E to F, there's no sharp. It goes E straight to F.
Yeah, bloody hell. Yeah.
So it's the...
Okay.
So you were on it.
6th. Yeah.
No, not quite.
Hang on. No.
That's...
C, D, E, F.
That's
okay.
it. What's that? The 8th. Yeah, so on the 5th string, you've got the 8th. We got there in the end, that's all that matters. So, Roddy, all we're doing is trying to find out where the F root is on the 6th string, the 5th string, and the 4th string. So, Brian, can you tell me where it is on the 4th string?
The 3rd fret.
The 3rd fret, yeah. So I'm going to show you that now. So have a look at this. So all I've got there is the root. So if you like the top one, see the 1st fret there on the top string and the 3rd fret on the 4th string. They're your roots, they're your F. And you can see like Peter told us that on the 8th fret there on the 5th string. And then Sam identified that there's also an F on the 6th string there. I don't know how to get that little bit of writing to get off there. It bugs me. Sure, it's in settings. So yeah, they're your F roots. That's what you got to gravitate towards to finding out these shapes for F. Okay. So, okay. What 2 shapes are on the 6th string, Michael? I've just covered this in the previous little bit.
You have C and A.
No, they're on the 5th string.
Oh.
On the 6th string, what 2 shapes have the root on
Oh, G and E.
G and E.
Yeah.
Okay, so G is to sort of this side, which you've got no frets there. So we're going to be starting this side. So what shape would be this side? So you're going to have 2 scales sharing this, but obviously you've got no space here. So you can only start on this one to this side. So which side would G be on and which side would E be on of this root?
G on the left-hand side, then towards the... I'm looking at the bottom one.
Oh, right there. Yeah, G towards the left-hand side and E towards the root. So your first shape there in the caged is going to be the E shape.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can see that now. So you got the E shape. See, it starts on the 1st fret. I'll play you an F chord. And then you got... And you can see you've got the open notes there. So that's your E shape. So we're playing an F major here. But we got to start with the E shape. Excellent. Night. Oh, yeah, resolve it on the 1 there. Okay, so spelling caged, what would be the next shape along there, Jimmy? Jimmy!
D.
D. Okay, so watch this on the chart. See there? See how it relates to where the E is? And as well, when you look at that, the next sort of root note is this one here on the 4th string, so it's going to be the D. So there you can see. So that's on the 3rd fret of that 4th string. So on this 2nd string here, that when you come to this 2nd string, you've got to move out of position. And when you go back down, you move back into position. That's it, yeah. So tying that together with your E, you'd probably want to go the E shape, sorry, starting on the F note. And then that last note, hold on to it, change it with your 2nd finger. I'll just give you an F chord so you can play with them notes. So once you've played with the E shape, try and jump to the D shape. So on that B string, the 2nd string, Brian, you got to shift out of position a bit, slide across to the 3rd fret. That's it there. Okay. All right, so CAGED, C-A-G-E-D. So we've just done the D. So the next shape, you can see the root there, can't you? It's just on its own, on the 5th string. So the 2 shapes that are gonna share that, C and A. So it's going to be a C. You can sort of see the tail end of the C there. If I go to it now, keep your eyes on the chart, watch. See there? That's your C shape. So now you can see from the D shape there, how you stack the next one up. Just purely by looking at that red root note. So this is your C shape. So that's going to be on the 8th fret now. Your little finger on the 8th fret. That's it on the 5th string. So that's your C. So we've gone E, D, and then to start in this caged spelling again. So from C, starts here. Oh. So from the E shape to the D shape to the C shape. All sounds exactly the same. Okay, so caged, C, A. So we know this root here shares with the A. Now if you watch the chart, you can see how it shows you the next shape. Watch. There. See how the next shape adds on? It shares the same root. I'll just do that a few times so you can see how it jumps to the next shape. Okay, so this is all in F. I'll give you the chord so it helps you hear the scale. Okay. And then the last shape, we've got C, A. We're going to go to G, is the next one along. So it doesn't matter what shape you start with at the start, it always goes in the order of caged. So the next one is G. So that's going to be on the 13th fret, because obviously you couldn't play your G at the very start here because you had no frets. Yeah, it wasn't possible. We had to start on E. So this one starts on the 13th fret. So this is the one with a bit of a stretch to it. But this G is probably the most common shape used, believe it or not. Even though it looks odd there, it's actually based around your basic pentatonic blues scale, which you use. And I'll point that out in time. Okay, so there are your 5 shapes. Sam, do you want to unmute? Do you want to start with the first shape? So start here on the actual first fret. Oh, sorry, you down here. That's it. Lovely. To the D shape. That's it. Lovely. Then to the C shape. So that's on the roots on the. That's it. Sharing the same root, it would be the A shape. That's it. Excellent. And then the last one. That's it. Yeah, good. Have you tried it in different keys prior to that?
Yeah, I see it as the pattern, not as the frets. So
That's
I find
fine.
it easy to shift around. It's just relative to the root. So yeah.
Exactly. And that's my point that I'm trying to get across. If you can imagine that root. Because if you find the root on the 5th string, you know for a certain it's C to A that are either side of it. If you find the root on the 6th string, it's E to G either side. And find the root on the D string, it's a D shape. Okay, let's have a little listen. Jimmy, everyone just keep practicing and getting used to the 5 shapes. And
Go.
go on, Jimmy, from the... are you looking at the bottom one here?
I wasn't looking.
All right.
I was just playing.
Use your emotion, man. Go on. Okay, the second shape. That's it.
Got
Just
it.
an octave of it.
That goes to D then, doesn't it?
That's it. Lovely. And then on the 5th string, 8th fret.
Yeah. I had to skip there.
That's it. Lovely. And then sharing the same root. And then the 13th fret on the top string would be your little finger. Little finger. Excellent, nice one. And just keep going up and down it. Practice it, Roddy. Do you want to go next? Well done, Jimmy. Starting on the 1st fret, top string. That's it. E sharp.
Yep. Sorry.
I tell you what I'll do. I'm going to do this. Will that help? Okay, and then the next shape across. So starting on that same note you've just ended on. So with your 2nd finger.
Okay.
Move across a bit. That's it. That's it. Excellent. And then the C shape, you start with your little finger on the 8th fret on the 5th string. That's it. Excellent. And sharing that same root where you've just ended on is the A, so you've got to move your 2nd finger to there. That's it. Okay, and the last one, you put your little finger on the 13th fret on the top string. That's it.
Oops.
There you've got to move out of position a bit. There you go. Yeah, well done. Just keep practicing that, Brian. I'll just quickly get through you all.
How long have you got?
Go on.
Yeah. So starting with E, is it?
Yeah, I'll go back to the E there. Okay, the next one, D. That's it. Move out of position there with your 1st finger. On the 3rd fret.
First finger.
Yeah, on the 3rd fret.
Yeah.
That's it. Excellent. Then the next one's the C shape, which is on the 5th string.
8.
8th fret, that's it. Little finger.
Little finger, yeah.
That's it.
Oh.
Excellent. And then the next one is the A shape, sharing the same root on that 8th fret. That's it there. And your last one is on the top string, 13th fret, little finger.
Oh.
Jump too far back there.
Yeah.
Next string down. That's it. Step a step backwards.
This way.
That's it. That's it. And you can hear the melody as well, the scale. I know I've not listened to Peter or Michael, but I'll listen to you on the next one. We're just going to try it in B flat major. Okay, so I want you to identify on the 6th string, on the 5th string and the 4th string where your B flats are. So I'll just give you like 20 seconds to try and work that out yourself. So B flat. It's not a B note, it's the one down from B. So on the 6th string, where's your B flat? Work it out. That looks good, Peter. That's good, Sam, yeah. So on the 6th string, count up. Your B flat is also your A sharp, but we're calling it B flat. Okay, so if you've got it on the 6th string, find it on the 5th string. So on the string below, find the same note. So you got to find the B flat. So from the 6th string, you can find out the octave of the one on the 4th string. That's it, Roddy. There, that's your B flat there. But I would work that B flat on the 5th string. I would learn it up the octave as well. So, okay, I'm going to show it you now. So that's good, that Brian. So yeah, we've done that. Here's the B flat major roots. So you can see on the first one we're going to play is on the 5th string and it's on the 1st fret. Okay, so on the 5th string though, yeah. And then it's on the 6th string on the 6th fret. And then the octave of that is 2 strings down and 2 across, so that'd be on the 8th fret of that 4th string. Yeah. If this doesn't make sense to anyone, just let me know now. And then we're gonna, because you can't play to this side of the B flat, we're gonna have to do the same as what we did with the F and play up the octave there on the 5th. So that's on the 13th fret. So that 1 is the same as the 13, yeah? Okay, so there your B flat roots. So can anyone tell me, this first shape we have here is on the 5th string. So what scale, what shape would that be? What was our first shape out of our CAGED shapes that we're going to deal with? Does anybody know? Jimmy, can you tell me? So we know that what?
E.
Pardon?
E. Oh
Well,
wait, that's right. You're starting on there.
What are the 2 shapes that go in?
A.
Yeah, it's an A. So on the 5th string, there's only 2 shapes. It could be a C or an A, and to this side is your A. This side is your C.
I was counting the strings. I was counting that top one there, like the first one on the 6th fret. I was thinking that's an A, isn't it? But it's...
yeah, no, that's yeah. You got it in the end. So it is an A shape. So if you look at this now, boom. There's your. There it is. From that, oh wait, there to there. So it's your A shape. So we're going to keep in mind spelling out CAGED. So we're missing out the C. We're starting on A. And we know it's an A shape, but because the root of it starts on the B flat, it's actually a B flat major scale. And that's what it should sound like. Kind of like what we did with the F, really, but just on the string below. So it should tie in with what I've just played there. It should all sound in tune with me. Okay, so the next shape along, C, A, you can see there, the next root is on the 6th string, and it's going to be to this side of it. So CAGED, C, A, is going to be G. So you can see there how it flits to the G. And that's going to be on the 6th fret on the top string. So I'll just show you how that transitions from that shape to that shape. So there's the A transitioning to the G there. Okay. That's it. That looks good there, Roddy. That's the right note. That's good. 1-3 there, Roddy, on that 4th string. Yeah, you can hear that. This G one just seems to span over 5 frets. That's why it's a bit tricky. Just don't forget on that 3rd string you have to move backwards to achieve them notes. Okay, so from the G, go into the next shape along, which would be C, A, G, E. There, you can see how it shares the same root. So here you play it with your little finger on the G, but now you're playing it with your 2nd finger on the E shape. So there. So that's on the 6th fret, but on the 6th string. So G and E is on the 6th string. Okay. And then the next shape is going to come from this octave here, this last note we played. So that's going to be C, A, G, E, D shape. So here's going to be your D shape. If you see how it transforms there, you see that? I'll do that again. So there's the E shape. Looking at the last note, you can see the D shape. So I hope you're just understanding the pattern always goes in spelling CAGED. It's always, no matter what letter you start on, it starts spelling the word from that letter. And then, so we've gone A, G, E, D. We obviously got to start with the C now because we've run out of letters. So D, and you can sort of see the C shape there. It would start on that 13th fret here, like that. See there? So you got the C shape now. That's starting on the 13th fret on that 5th string with your little finger. All right, I'm going to listen to Michael. Do you want me to do them step by step like I did before? So start here with the A shape. Everyone else can practice this as well. Okay. Then the G shape. So you got to jump to the 6th string now, 6th fret, little finger. So using the same root, you're going to be playing the E shape with your 2nd finger. Holding that last note there. Holding that last note, switch it with your 2nd finger. You got the D shape. Lovely. And then you're going to have to go to the 5th string on that 13th fret.
Yeah.
To play the C shape.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So that's the whole B flat major scale you played, covering the 12 frets. How's that feel?
Yeah, good. I kind of, it's always just repeating patterns, isn't it, really?
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
And I can't stress enough, like, if you've learnt that, if you learn this, you've learnt quite a lot of things to do with playing music. So that's why I'm sort of hammering this home a bit for you, to get you to memorise it. Okay, Peter. Well done, Michael. We'll go back to the A shape.
This might take me a little longer.
It's all right. Take your time.
Okay. Right.
Excellent. Now the next shape will be on the top string, 6th fret, with your little finger. That's it. Doing the G shape. Are you reading the top one or the bottom?
Top.
All right. Okay. Okay, so sharing that first root you did on the 6th fret top string, you're going to do the E shape.
Right.
Okay, good. And then that last note you played, that's going to be the root of the next one. So switch with your second finger, play your D shape. Shift it long, that's it. Okay, in your last shape, you're going to play with your little finger on the 13th fret of that fish. That's it there.
No.
3, 4.
Doesn't sound right. No.
That's it. It's good you're all starting to... Your ears are telling you when something's
Yeah,
not right.
Yeah, you can. You know instinctively.
Yeah. And you'll learn that it sounds a bit too low, so you've gone on a fret too far backwards, and then you got to move up. But yeah, excellent, nice one. Okay, let's just look at this. Let's just hear, Sam, do you want to play me them 5 shapes in B flat there?
Where am I starting?
Oh, do you want me to?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
No, I'll get my head down. I should be all right.
Go on, Sam. The next one.
So
that's the A shape.
Where am I going?
Well, what's after A? What's the shape after A?
I don't relate to the names of the shapes.
Ah, yeah.
Admission time.
So you've just skipped out of a whole portion of the fretboard there.
Because there should be.
So the first one's this one. If you look at that, wait there.
Yeah.
You've done that one. Now look at the root there's on the 6th string. You've got the scale to this side, and that's it. There. And then you share the same root. That's it. Oh, and then the octave of that. That's it.
Oops.
And the last shape. That's it.
Oops. Hang on. I've gone crazy, haven't I? Oh.
That's it, yeah.
Sorry.
It's good. It's good because you find every time you make a mistake and you fix it, that's where you're doing some proper deep learning. Do you know what I mean? Your brain's fixing itself.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you're really getting to grips with it. I would focus, if I was you, you've got all these 5 shapes, I'd be focusing on the notes around it. And I know for a fact you know some of these already. You know your G full, you know this one here. You know the full shape to that, don't you?
Yeah. And it's when we were doing that comfortably numb stuff as well, I
Yeah.
start remembering that pattern that we were doing in that lesson where just that shape.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's
And you might know 3
gel
of the
together.
shapes in full 6 strings, but there's probably a couple of them you need to fully get. Okay. Did anyone else want to demonstrate the B flat, or did you want to move on? So, has anyone got any questions so far? Because like we've done 2 keys there, we've done F. You played all 5 shapes in F, and then we've done B flat, and you played all 5 shapes. Has anyone got any questions at all? Go on, Brian.
I've no questions, Dave, but it just seems I fully understand what you've just gone through then. But I think where I'm falling down about the other guys is remembering those shapes which we did some weeks ago.
Yeah.
So it's like connecting all the dots really, not forgetting what you did for the shapes, bringing it into this now, be able to move between those shapes for different keys.
Yeah, because I think straight away it hit Roddy because he's practiced his arpeggios and then he's like forgot.
I've been
What's a
working
major scale
arpeggios,
again? Do you know? But I mean, then them arpeggios you did are all inside this major scale.
Yeah.
So the major scale's the sort of daddy, and the
Yeah.
arpeggios are inside it, jumping about.
Yeah.
I get that, but what I agree with Brian on is we, as the older fraternity, find it a little more difficult to actually remember that, for example, the G is where it
Jumps
flies back.
Yeah.
And you know, there are a couple of them where it is the same kind of shape as you know.
Yeah, it's
but-
sort of so similar.
Yeah, it's remembering which is which.
But do you know what? This is what I studied for 2 years on my degree, and it took me ages, and I suffered them. I don't think I suffered them same problems. I don't think it's a youth thing, really, because you're all learning it pretty as good as what I'm teaching some of the kids at school. You know, they're doing the same mistakes.
We're probably being too hard on ourselves.
Yeah, you are, and I think it's easy to think, oh, just because you're older. But I don't think you're all pretty bright guys. I think you're too hard on yourself. It's like Roddy said, they're all similar with a slight change, and it'll be time and constantly playing it that it'll fall under your fingers. So don't be too hasty and thinking, why am I not getting all this straight?
Yeah, if it was that easy, everybody be playing guitar.
Exactly, and it's not that easy. Yeah.
The bit I struggle with, Dave, is the bit knowing what shapes to start with, depending on what key it's in, and that's the bit I can't get my head around.
Okay, I'm gonna just go back to this thing here. So establishing the roots, so the B flat. We know that, like, say on the 5th string, you've got to find a B flat.
Yeah.
So you just go on the 5th string and find your B flat, and you know on that B flat that there's 2 shapes that are either side of it, and the 2 shapes on the 5th string with the root on the 5th string are C and A. So there's got to be on this 5th string here. There's got to be C or A. Now you can't.
How do you know it's C or A then? Just because the root's on the 5th.
Yeah, well, C would be to this side. Are you looking at the bottom one here?
Yeah.
The C would be to this side of it here, and see you've got no frets there.
How do you know that though? How do you know the C's to that side? That's the bit I can't.
Well, it always is when you look at your roots there. I'm going to zoom into the one Michael's looking at here. So you've got your root here. C is always to the left, and A is always to the right. It always
so it's on the 5th, you know it's C or A. So then
C is always to the right. You start with your little finger, and that's always the C shape. And then you move your second finger there, and A is always to the right. And you can see you've got frets here to do the A.
So you've not got enough frets to do the C, so you've got to start with the A.
So that'll show you that you have to start with the A. As you can see here, there. It starts with the A. And then you just go through your letters. See, A, G, E, D, C, and it always goes in that order.
Yeah.
So it's good. It's a valid question. These are the constant. These are the things I need to keep telling you.
I think what always helps me with knowing. I think why it clicked quick was because we did that Bowie song ages ago where we did the C scale.
Yeah.
And it looks like a C, and it starts on the note of C, and that's the first thing. It's called a C. It's a C chord. And it's the start of the CAGED shapes, and I always follow up from that C then, because it's, and it kind of forms like a C chord.
Well, it is a C major scale, and it's on a C shape, and it's around the C chord.
Picture that. That's a C. It starts on C. It's called C in CAGED, and then that's it. You just kind of work out the next.
What's
because
that?
When you move it to the A and then especially the G, and I can sit and see the notes of A and G in those shapes, but they don't look. I think the C shape looks more familiar to a C than
like
the A and the G
chord.
do to an A and a G.
Well, you have to sort of like when you play them shapes, you have to Imagine, so I'm playing that G shape, watch this. I'm going to put my fingers in a sort of G shape there, you know. That's where the arpeggio starts spelling out the chord within the scale. So that's like, I reckon we'll pick up arpeggios a bit further down the line. We'll proper master this first. But yeah, there's not much more point in carrying on another subject because we've only got like 2 minutes. But I'll probably just like, has anyone else got any questions or any light bulb things that have come into play? Any light bulb moments or anything? Go on, Roddy.
I have a question, and it's probably the most stupid question you've ever
Hey,
had.
there's no such thing.
However,
Not on DMC guitar tuition.
however, I can't get my head around this. G minor major 7. How could it be major and minor the same thing?
Good.
I'm with you, Roddy.
Because the major has nothing to do with it being a major or minor chord. The major is related to the 7th note of the...
So forget the major, just saying the 7th's a major.
The 7th's a major, it's a major 7.
Right.
So when you see something that says G major 7, that major has no relation whether that chord's a major or a minor. The thing that tells me a chord's a major chord is when it just says D. That says major.
Right.
When you don't have to state a chord's a major chord. You
So
can just go...
what if it was D minor 7?
Well, it would have to have a minor in then, because you're stating it's got a minor. So the only time you...
But is the 7th a major?
No,
D minor 7.
No, that minor's not related to the 7. That you're saying 7. You're going D with a minor, which is related to the 3rd note. And then your 7 is...
So why is that 7 different to the major 7?
Because that's a flat 7. When you just say 7 on its own...
Yes. Now the penny dropped.
That's the difference, a major 7 and a 7. Right. So the major 7 is within the scale, and a 7 is flattening that major 7.
Okay, but so, not when it says G minor major 7.
Exactly, because it's got a minor in it, which is related to the 3rd note going down a step.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Thank you.
And that's why it's important. The good thing about learning them arpeggios is it really helps you understand chords.
Yeah.
And why chords are called what they're called. So.
Good.
But do you know what? I'm going to leave it at that. And it's good if you think of questions, even if you think of questions in the week, and you just send me a message or Facebook it. And I mean, if I don't answer it, one of the other guys in the group might know it, and it's a good resource, really. But Michael, how have you found tonight?
Yeah, excellent. Yeah, really. I think I started to understand it a bit more. I just need to work on the shapes. The sort of shapes are all the same everywhere, but I just need to think, right, G shape, that's that, and so on. So I just need to do a bit of work on that. But I think I'm sort of getting it.
Yeah, you just got to sit down and just learn them, just one octave on each shape, and just learn them real well. And then it'd just be plain sailing. That's why I thought I'd take it back a step. I think
it's very good.
Took it back a step.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Roddy, have you enjoyed tonight?
Yeah, super. Thank you very much.
Good, nice one. Brian.
Yeah, good, Dave. Yeah, I agree with Michael. I think I've got to go back and refresh those shapes.
Yeah.
Get them under my fingers. I've struggled tonight because I hadn't looked at it for weeks.
Yeah.
And it's important to have those shapes under your fingers, isn't
exactly, it? Because everything we do after it, like the arpeggios, are to do with these shapes.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, Sam was tonight okay?
Yeah, no, I've been, as you say, trying to think everything in major when I'm playing other stuff, but it's almost, I work off permissions, and I guess it's those permissions to skip notes out equals the pentatonic, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean? It's missing some of them out, but I struggled with those arpeggios last week, but for the same reason that I don't know the names of the shapes, so the names of those arpeggios, I didn't have a point of reference for them. So I need some mathematical logic as to why a G minor major 7 arpeggio is called that in its shape. I've got no logic on it at the minute.
Okay, we will address this. It's good you've mentioned that, But we will look at arpeggios again in more detail, and hopefully it'll all spell out a bit more. But Peter, has it been all right tonight?
Yeah, it's been a bit of a refresher, I suppose. I mean,
Yeah.
But when we did it last time, we were using D major, and I thought I knew it, but then you go and stick in a B flat, and I think, oh my God, how do I work out these shapes?
But you didn't.
Do me.
You didn't, but it's understanding it. That's the thing. So
Yeah.
the more I jump into different keys, you should get the picture.
Yeah.
Oh. All right, nice one, Jimmy. You all right, mate? All understood.
Yeah. Sorry, I kept getting. I'm similar to Sam. I picture like the shapes and stuff, so moving them isn't that bad, but getting the names and stuff of the exact ones, that doesn't. Like the shapes of things kind of stick, I think.
Yeah. Do you know what? I don't imagine them as shapes when I actually put it into practice. I don't see the shape. I don't go, oh, I'm going into E shape, I'm going into C shape. I just like know the next position up under my fingers. So
Yeah.
it's not a bad thing, really.
The route's reasonably easy because I just go E A D G B E and I'm working out.
Yeah. That's it. Listen, gents, I've got another session now, so I must fly. But thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
It's always a pleasure.
Cheers, everyone.
See you guys.
Thanks a lot, everyone.
Cheers, mate.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Right.